All right, so welcome back everyone to my channel. Here myself, David Millionaire Incorporated, and as always, it's that time of the week where I go through and review what the pound yen has done for the week and what it could potentially mean for the week moving forward. So, as always, if you're new here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Give me a like if you're enjoying the content and liking the review of what's actually happened and kind of getting a better idea of how price action and stuff works. If you're a returning viewer, cheers for the support, guys, as always. And let's jump into it. Now, I just want to mention as well that this isn't financial advice. I'm not giving you proper signals for what the currency pair is doing. This is just my view on what's actually happened during the week and what I see happening moving forward. So, always do your own analysis and make sure it fits within your risk reward parameters. Okay, so let's get started, shall we? So this week was another good week. You can see like it moved quite nicely in that impulse correction phase kind of thing. As I said last week, it's still in that uptrend for price action. And if you're new to the channel, I like to use price action, incorporating it with support and resistance areas and zones for my analysis. It tends to work quite well. Um, it's easy to understand. Now you won't get it right 100% of the time, but in saying that, it gives you I wouldn't say an edge, but a reasonable idea of reasonable strategy to actually trade the currencies. So let's jump into it. So the week opened up around, where was it? Just here. So you can see pretty much opened where it closed, came up, retraced down, working off that 150.12 area where it kind of had a bit of an issue breaking through last week, or you can kind of draw a zone right here, move down, then had that impulse higher. So let's drop down to a lower time frame to see what it actually did at those areas. So we'll go to the 1 hour time frame first of all. So you can see here it opened on this green candle here. Kind of thing moved higher, tried breaking above this area right here, exhausted, came back down, came up, couldn't break below this area just here, so it actually created a bit of a W pattern and then shot off higher. So that was actually my first trade of the week, just at this area here, as it came back and created that W pattern. So I'll quickly just draw in that trade. Actually, I'll drop down to the 30-minute time frame because that's actually where I took it off. So coming over here, so it's a bit easy to see. So as you see, the market opened here, tried going down, closed with a bit of a pin bar rejection reversal there, came up high, couldn't break above this area here, kind of faked out, dropped back down, created that W pattern, and then took off. So as I was saying, that's where I took this buy order from there. So grab my long position. So I pretty much took out the close of that candle there. As always, if you're returning, 40 pip stop loss, 2-to-1 risk reward. So that's my 80 pip target. So 800 ticks. And that takes it to pretty much in line with where it kind of exhausted around here. So that's actually a pretty decent area to kind of take profit area to. So as you can see, start of the week started off pretty well because that was in Australia on the Monday morning. Pretty much went straight up to that take profit area without too much hesitation. Then there it kind of broke above that area. So let's go back to the 1 hour actually because it's a bit easier, a bit cleaner to see this price action on this time frame. So finally broke above that area there. You can almost draw a zone at the top of this one here. So I'll take my rectangle tool, draw it just there. You'd almost do a horizontal ray as well as a bit of a so you can get a bit of a cleaner price for it. broke up, came back down, tested, exhausted, and then went off again. So you could have actually taken the second trade from this area. So as you know, it's in an uptrend, so you want to be trying to trade with the trend. So which literally just means buys predominantly. So there's quite a few areas you could have actually taken this um, buying from. So we actually had another area of this right here where you could have created a area of resistance, and you can see actually kind of respected that quite well over time as well. So when I'm saying price action zones and stuff, you're looking for areas where it's kind of made that reversal or struggled to move past. So that area there, which I was talking about just before, it struggled to actually move past it. I'll actually get rid of this one here, or else it gets too confusing. So retraced from that area there, came up, kind of tested it, then broke through it, broke up to the 150, area, couldn't break above, came back down, tested that previous area of resistance, now support, couldn't break below, and like I was saying, could have taken another buy position from that just here. Now, as I said, we're in an uptrend, and there's a couple of areas which my trading group or my mentors group and I are looking at was the 150, 150 and 152 area. So I'll just quickly adjust this to reflect my 40 pip stop loss, 2 to 1 risk to reward. We can see how that pans out. So it came up to that 150, 150 area pretty easily. Took a little while to actually get there. And you can see it kind of came up, just tested that area again, and it's kind of bounced between that area for a little bit, ranged a bit before finally actually breaking through. So you can see that um, came up, bounced back down, came back up, came back down again. Not quite all the way, but it actually had that pin bar rejection there as well, and then kept moving higher. And then same thing, exhausted around here, dropped back down, tested that area, then took off again. And you could have actually taken another trade from that area. That's one I think I took a very, very minor position on because I was unsure of what I was actually doing at that stage. So just adjust all that again as always so you can see what's doing and hitting up there. So it actually went right up to that 152 area. You maybe wanted to drop that to that 152 area because you wouldn't have really going to be taking it all the way above. So just about there. So that's just shy of two, 2 to 1. But then, as you can see, it exhausted at that 152 area, couldn't quite hold the momentum going up, and then broke down. So that's actually another trade I actually took to finish off my week as a short position because it did that exhaustion there. Same thing as always, 80 pip profit target, 40 pip take stop loss, and it literally just came down to that area of support again. So, like I said, broke above, tested, took off, created that kind of inverse W pattern now, or the M pattern, came back down, tested that area again, and then moved higher. So that's pretty much what the week did. And you can see there, that gives you at least 4 quite decent trades for the week of at least 320 pips again, um, risking 2 to 1, or except for that one there. So just shy of that actual 320 pips, so probably about 300 pips there, and quite easily as well. Just working off those support and resistance zones, which I was just showing you, and trading with the trend with 2 to 1 risk reward. So quite decent returns for the week. Now moving forward, so as I said, my trading group and I and my friends and I were looking at that 152 area as an area of potential reversal. Now, in saying that, because we are still in a decent uptrend, I'll quickly just go to the daily for this. You can see it hasn't retraced at all. It's still in that very bullish phase. It could potentially keep moving higher. I'll go to the 1 month actually just to kind of get an idea of what's going on. But it might actually start having a bit of an exhaustion around this 154.60 area. So you can see there it had a massive impulse down from this area here, which back in June 2016, which I think may have been actually Brexit. Um, Off the top of my head, I can't remember exactly. So it came up, actually tested that once before, then continued its trade down, then finally broke through, and now it's, like I said, in a very bullish phase. It could come back up to that area just here before moving down again. So I'll move to the weekly time frame. So as always, when looking for these zones, you always want to be looking left. Um, so an area could be potentially around here, in this area here somewhere. So we're almost pretty much at that area as it stands. So dropping down to lower time frames, that's what you're doing, trying to find areas which could potentially work. These are more my other trading charts which I've done in the past, as you can see. So that's 153.60. So you're almost looking at 152.50 at the moment as a potential area of rejection. So I'll just pop that there. So you can see here, it's struggled to kind of break above that area, faked out again, tested that area, came back down, tested, tried breaking up above, came back down, and again, working off those zones. This is on, like I said, the daily hour time frame, so could be slightly less. I'm just going to actually highlight all this here and before I drop down to the daily, so we can actually get before I run into the 4 hourly, sorry, so we can get a better idea of what's going on in that area and try and find a cleaner zone to actually work from. So I'll zoom into this. So let's go to our line. So that's at 152.20 potentially as well. 152.20. And see that's at 152.50 there. 152.30. So I think that this entire area here could be a potential decent zone to kind of look out for. So you're pretty much looking from that 152.20 to that 152.50 area as a potential area of um, resistance. So I'm just going to actually adjust this so I can actually see it all the way across. That's just me knowing the platform and being able to kind of do that. So you can see it's found support at that 152 kind of 20. Let's come all the way across and let's see where it actually got up to this week. I think it might have actually tested that. So I'll actually delete that now. It almost, yeah, it actually did. It actually hit that 152.235. So potentially could come up to test that area again, create like a double top, and then come all the way down. So in saying that, as I was saying earlier on, you just kind of want to kind of watch what it actually does at that price level. And then you also might want to just actually wait for it to actually break this. I'll get rid of these areas, this trend line which I actually drew in. You can see it's actually respected that trend line quite nicely. Just starting there from that where it kind of peaked there and just following that nicely. So it could actually break that, come back down to test this area once more before coming all the way up higher, then potentially waiting in that correction move, which we've been waiting for. And saying that, I'm going to delete a few of these areas because we don't need them anymore. I'll keep that one there. That's another decent area there. Yeah, so that's what I'm looking for. So the week moving forward, depending on how it opens, as always, because a whole bunch of news comes out during the week, could come up into this area here before moving lower. But in saying that, as I always say, watch how the price acts at certain areas. Let's go to 1 hour and kind of make your trading plan off that. So you could almost draw a zone here as an area of where it could actually work from. Um, yeah, so opening there, going higher, coming back lower, um, and then coming or working off this area just here or again, or even here where it had that minor kind of support slash resistance. You can kind of see it came down, came up, tested that area there, dropped back down again, created that W pattern and took off again. So it's just kind of like, it does take a bit of practice to get used to actually drawing all these zones in. But that's what I'm kind of looking at for the week. Like I said, I am still waiting for that correction move. It could keep moving higher. Um, it's kind of just looking left, seeing what's going on in the area in similar kind of in the past, and kind of creating a plan from that. But as you can see, it's still trending quite nicely, respecting the zones, kind of breaking above, testing, breaking through, testing, breaking higher, testing, and working that way. So until it kind of breaks that trend line, creates changes in market structure, so lower lows or higher highs and higher lows to a lower high and lower low, which is which signifies a downtrend. I'm going to kind of still keep looking for buys, but once it actually does that, then I'll start looking for sells. So hope that's been useful for you guys. If you enjoy that content, don't forget always drop me a like, leave me a comment, let me know what you think is going to happen for the week moving ahead. I'd love to hear for what your perspective is of this. And yeah, I'll catch you guys next week. Cheers.